Hello everyone, today we're going to be dealing with Smart Suite reports, and I believe at the end of the session we're going to make report champions out of all of you that are participating. We're going to show you how you can not just have to stick with the existing reports in the system, but you can actually write your own reports. So I'm going to be using the Overdue report as my training report for you today, but the principles that we will use will apply to all the reports on the system. Okay, you need to be an administrator, you need to be signed in. As you can see, I'm signed in. I know that because it says sign out. So I'm already signed in. So when I'm signed in, if I click on the menu button, I'm going to get down to reports and reports. Now, when the reports menu comes up, you will get this top section, reports created by Functional Solutions International. These are all the reports on the system. Okay? And those are all the different categories of reports. The reports on the bottom, reports created by me, these are the reports that you have created, and I'm hoping that when we cut you loose and you go, oh, I'm excited, I want to write my own reports, that this area is going to just grow and grow and grow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to delete some of the specific reports. So I'll just go delete and I'll go yep, so that we have a clean slate to start with. Okay, so if I go into catalog, I can go delete and delete that record. Okay, and then go back into catalog, delete this record, delete. Okay, and you can delete anything under that line because the reports under this line is the reports that you've created or played around with or having an attempt of creating your own reports. You will not do any damage to the system. Okay, so here we go, delete. Okay, and then the last record, last report here. Okay, and now I've deleted all my catalog reports. So that's why the catalog category. So if you're looking at overdues and you've got some overdue reports, let's also get rid of them because we're going to be playing around with the overdues and we expect to see overdue reports added onto the bottom once I've gone ahead and done some training with you. Okay, so the last overdue, so that's the last overdue report. I go delete and I go okay. Okay, now what you'll find is reports created by me. I've got no catalog reports created by me and no overdue reports created by me. So I want to run an overdue report. I don't want to create a report. I don't want to learn about writing reports. I just want to run my overdues. So if you want to do that, you go to the top section, click on overdues, and these are all your overdue reports. If you want a catalog, you catalog. If you want a cost center, cost center. If you want current loans, these are current loans. If you want patron reports, those are your. But I'm only interested in overdues, and notice there's no overdues. So if I go overdues, and I want to go and do an overdue by classification, I just click on classification, overdue by classification, and then you have to go open. So I'll go open, and it says with class grade equal to, and you can click in here and I can add with class grade equal to 7, 8 and 12. Okay, now when I click outside, you can see I've got 7, 8 and 12. So it's going to run overdues for all these different class grades. But let's get rid of 12, let's get rid of 8, and I know I have overdues in 7, so we're going to run that. So if that's, you just want overdues for your year 7s, don't worry about anything below that, just go generate. And it'll show you a template, and if you look at the results up here, there it is. And that's your overdues for your class grade 7. And if you want to print it, you just come down here to go print or export, and you can say, no, I want to export it as a PDF, or I want to export it as raw data because I'm going to import it into my business analysis module, or I want to share that report with someone, so I can go share that report, and you can put in the information about the thing, and it will generate a link for you to share it. Okay, a better way would be, instead of sharing that, if you don't want to print that, but you want to email this to the year 7 teacher and ask her to chase up the students. So if you want to email that report, just click on email. Okay, now all you need to worry about is the specified to. Who do you want to email it to? So in here, I'll go michael.at@gmail.com. okay, and I can go send now, or I can say and if you send it by an email, any report, they're all the same email function. So when you go and click on email, it says who do you want to send it to and what subject do you want to give it. So the subject I want to give it is Jack, please chase these dues for me. Okay, and so T's I wanted please, so I just go please, so you can fix up your spelling. Okay, and then all you need to go is send now. Now that'll send it. The problem is when Jack gets the report, okay, because you'll put his email address, jack@vic.gov.edu.au. Now, if I send it to Jack, he will get this report, and what he's going to do is it is going to show him the report exactly as you saw it, except if he goes reply because he wants to talk to you, the report will come from no reply. And then Jack will be told that here's an email from no reply. So he won't be able to just hit reply. But if you'd like to put your return email address there, so you can put that, your email address here. And if you put that in there, what's going to happen when you go send, that'll be the subject matter of the report. That'll be the person that it's going to, and this will be the email address in here. This will be the email address. So if Jack hits return or reply, it will come back to whatever emails in there. Otherwise, Jack will get notified it's from no reply. All right. So send now. Okay. And it says you're about to send an email to one recipient. Click here. So all you do is you click here, and then that will tell you that the emails are sent. Okay, simple as that. Now, let's pretend that this was not a year 7 report that I was looking at, but this was a class grade 7H, and you wanted to send that report to the class grade teacher. Everything's exactly the same, nothing changes. But let's add one new thing into the dynamic. How about you send this? You know how you, in the past, you'd print out all the overdues for the class grade and you'd go to the pigeonholes and you'd put all the reports in the pigeonholes and all that manual stuff? You don't need to do that anymore. You can say, this overdue report, which is a weekly report, I want to schedule it. Okay, so you can click the schedule and you can put the first date of that report. You can say, so actually, I want this report to start working from Sunday next week. So as of Sunday, I want you to send it at 9 a.m. in the morning. Okay, and I want to send it weekly. So every week at 9, the homeroom teacher that this was for, so you choose a particular homeroom and you'll put the homeroom teacher's name specified, and you just go your email address there and just click schedule. And when you hit the schedule button, that's what's going to happen. So weekly, that report is now going to go off and to that person. Okay, so really easy. If you want to disable that schedule, you can go stop that schedule, and that's it, because that particular homeroom teacher might have left and there's a new homeroom teacher. So you still call it up and you can put a different homeroom teacher's email in there. Okay, so that's how easy it is to just do an overdue, in my case by classification. Okay, Now you can see I've got a 07D homeroom and I got a 06A. So if I wanted to do an overdue by homeroom, the amazing thing is I can use this program, this overdue by classification program, to change its parameters. So what I can do is I go class grade. No, not interested in class grade. I'm going to choose homeroom. So you go down here and there's homeroom. So with homeroom equal to, and I'll go, let's do the 07D. So when I click in there, 07D, so I can type it in or I can just select off the list. Okay, now remember this one was year 7 classification. Now if I run this report and I go generate, it's going to generate only for the 07Ds. There they are. Same report, except it's only doing that homeroom. So I can take any report and I can play around with the selection criteria. Okay, so what this is, because it's an overdue, it says days before today, 0 days. So in other words, this is 0 days from today. So anything that was due today and prior to today is going to show up here. But you might say, no, I only want anything 7 days prior to today. So you can do that. You can change your selection criteria or you can just leave it alone. Okay, or you can say, I want all the homeroom reports, but I want to add a new criteria. So I'll click on add, and accession number, no. Let's have a look at what I can call. So I can have a look at, let's go location. So I'm using my same overdue by classifications. I've changed it to a homeroom equal to 07D and a location equal to, so I want everything. So let's have a look at the location. Oh, it doesn't give me a location here on that report, but I could have said with the location, so I want everything that's in the B3 classroom. Okay, so basically if I run that report, it has to have a homeroom equal to 7D. It has to be 7 days before today. Let's change it back to 0. Okay, or because that's the normal thing. And I only want the books that are in the location, the B3 classroom. Okay, so it's a very versatile program that you're running over here. Okay, now when you exit out, you're going to lose all of these. So you might want to take your phone and photograph it. So you can say, next time I want to do a report like this, I'll remember this photograph of this particular screen. Alternatively, why don't you build your own report? So I'll go into homeroom. I'll go back home here and I'll go back into my overdues and I'll choose my overdues by classification like I just did. So I'll choose that and then I'll say duplicate it for me. See how I've got cost center reports that I've created, loan reports I've created, spine limit. I'm going to duplicate that report, overdues by classification, duplicate. And instead of calling it overdues by classification, I'm going to call it overdue by homeroom for a location. So that's what I'm going to call it. Okay. Overdue. Okay, now I'm going to call, that's what I'm going to call it, and I'm going to go save. Okay, now let's go back to the home screen. Okay, and let's have a look. So there's my overdue report, but there's my overdues that I've just created, and it's called overdues homeroom for a location. Okay, so let's click it and I'll go, let's open that report, and there it is. Okay, but I haven't added all my information on there. So I can go, I'm going to configure this report. Okay, and I'm going to say class grade, no, I want the homeroom. So I'll find the homeroom. So homeroom equal to whatever homeroom, and I'm going to add a location. So I'll go and not accession number and location. So let's go down to location. Location equal to, and then I can go ahead and just choose the location. Or I can say location containing this word or not equal to, but equal to is fine because I have a list to select from. And now I'll go save. Okay, so if I go into my homeroom reports, okay, or my overdue reports, I'll go to my overdues. There's only one overdue homeroom for a location. So when I click on that and go open, there's all my parameters. It's already saved. Okay, so I'll go homeroom 07, I think it was. So 07, and it's 07D, I believe. Okay, I'm not going to put anything else in, and I'll just go generate. And there's my report, except I don't want the site name because that's the same, but I'd like to put the location in here. So how do I change this parameter? And that's really easy to do. So what we'll do is we'll go into configure. So we're going to configure that, and we're going to have a look at the results data. This is very important. The results data is all the fields that I might want to add into my report. Now, if I go to my template, okay, you can see I've got the call number, the copy number, the title, the barcode. Okay, so I've got all this information here, but I haven't got the location. So if I wanted the location and I wanted to add it, I would go results data, and you can see these are all the fields of information I can use. They're not necessarily on the report. These are the fields I can use. So I'm going to change the site. And here are all the fields in the database that I can add. So instead of site, I'm going to add a location. So we'll come down here, and in the copies area, we want the location from the copies. Where is it? Location. There, location. So I've now changed that to location. Okay, and let's save that report. And now let's go home and run that. Sorry. I've saved that report. Let's go to the template. And now in here, okay, what I can do is I've changed the site name to location. So I don't have to add it to the template. But if it wasn't on the existing template, I would need to add another field onto the pieces of information here. Okay, so let's go and now go home. Okay, let's go to my overdues report. Let's run that overdue report. Okay, and just go open, and 07D, that's my overdue report. And I'm not going to select a location, but I want the location on the report. So I just go generate. And now when I generate it and I have a look at the results, guess what? It's now given me the location because I changed the site to location. I could have deleted the cost, I could have deleted the replacement and just put in another field in there. Okay, so that's how easy it is to run your overdue reports from the system. But if you go, you know what, I'm not interested in this report, I just want a stock standard overdue. So if you want a stock standard overdue, just go to overdues. And how do you want it? Oh, I want it by classification. So just choose homeroom by classification. Okay, and then go open. And what classification? So I want homeroom 7D. Okay, there it is, and go generate. Okay, and if I look at the results, there it is. And remember, we changed the site on my personal report that I created to show the location, because the functional solutions reports, which are the ones up the top, that's the stock standard. So you can even change this one if you wanted to. my recommendation is, if you want to change any report from up here, you are better off to call up the report that you want to change, overdues by media, and go duplicate that and then give it a name, okay, and then save it, okay. So next time you go in, once you've saved it, go back home, go in again. If you're looking at overdues, there's the one homeroom, overdue homeroom for a location, and overdues by media type, that's the duplicate, okay. And you can then click on that and go configure, and you can add parameters. You can order the data, okay. You can go to the database and add data that doesn't appear here that you now want to appear here, and then you can go to the temp. So if you're just going to replace one of these fields, you can just go ahead and just do that. But if the you want all those fields and you want to add another field, just go add, and it'll say you're adding accession number. We go, no, I don't want accession number. I would really like the loan type to appear here, okay. And now you've got loan type to choose from when you're running your report. And then of course, if you go save, it will create a report in the bottom section. This is reports created by me, as in you, the library user, okay. Now I only did that with the overdue reports. However, you can do everything for the catalog. So you can have a look at the catalog reports and go, I'm going to grab that report and I'm going to alter it. Go ahead. Or you can go cost center reports. I'm going to do that. Or you can go reserve reports. You can do that. And if you really want to be adventurous and you've got lots of time on your hands, why don't go to the spine label report, grab a spine label, okay, and go and say duplicate it and play around with that spine label. Remove fields from the spine label, add fields to the spine label, have a look and see what you can do. It's a lot of fun. And because all the duplicates are at the bottom here, you can't stuff it up. If you don't like something you've done, click on it, delete it, get rid of it, and start again. It's as easy and as simple as that, okay. So you can see you've only got one left. So thank you for the opportunity to show you how you can use the reports in the system, how you can take any existing report, duplicate it, give it whatever name you like, and modify it just about any which way you want without fear of doing any damage to the system. You can't stuff it up. So enjoy yourselves, and we're hoping on running a competition for the most number of reports, of usable reports written by librarians towards the end of this year. Okay, so look out for that competition, and we'll notify everyone that has created a report in the bottom section. We're going to be monitoring that, and we'll send you a special invitation to participate in our report writing championship. We're not going to give you the topic, but what's going to happen is we will start a competition on a Monday, and we'll give you 2 weeks. We'll tell you what kind of report we want, what information we want, what selection criteria we want, and how many ways we want the data sorted. So we're going to give you about 3 to 4 months to get your report writing skills up to speed. We'll give you 2 weeks to write the report and play around with it, and then submit it to us. And the way you'll submit it to us, we want you to email that report. So, and then we look at all the reports that have come up, we look at all the data, and we'll have a committee here. We'll make a decision on which report we think is the best, and we'll give you a nice little prize. Thank you very much.